Okay, so in class today we talked about 1-point perspective. So we are going to be doing a 1-point perspective sketch today in Photopea. So I'm going to start off by going to that website. And I went ahead and have my drawing done. So I'm going to click Open from Computer, and I'm going to open the drawing that we did in class and open it onto my background layer. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to go over all of my shapes with the line tool. So to start, I need to add a new layer. So I have layer 1, and I'm going to do this kind of rectangle down in the bottom first. So going down to my rectangle tool, I'm going to click on it and go to my line tool. And I'm going to switch my fill to black, and I don't need a stroke. We'll make that smaller. There we go. So starting down here, I'm just going to click and drag to get my line, and then I'm going to unclick to stop the line, but without moving my cursor, I'm going to click and drag again. This will ensure that my lines are going to match up evenly and I won't have spaces between them. So I click and drag, let go, and then without moving my mouse, click and drag again. That way, there's no spaces here in my corners. So I can zoom in and I can see my corners overlap. Now I need to do my lines that go back into space. So in the middle here, we have, let me zoom back in, there we go. We have the horizon line and our vanishing point. So each of these boxes are going back into space, and all of the lines meet up at the vanishing point. So in 1-point perspective, we will always have vertical and horizontal lines, and then all of our diagonals will always go back to the vanishing point. So I went ahead and got my horizontal and vertical lines that outline my rectangle, and now I will outline my vanishing lines that go back in space. The last two lines that I have are parallel. So this line right here is parallel to the top of my box, and this back line is going to be parallel to the side of my box. So matching those up, and then I have one done. So remember, if you mess up, hit Control Z to undo, and then you can always redraw a line if you need to. So now that I have one done, I need to merge all of these layers down here. So I'm going to highlight shape 8, that's the one I just did. I'm going to hit Control on my computer and then click down all of these lines, and you'll see they slowly start highlighting all the way down to layer 1. So now I have all of them highlighted. I'm going to unclick my Control button, right click now that all of these are highlighted, and hit Merge Layers. So that makes my box one whole layer. So you can see it's all right here. Now I'm going to click New Layer down here at the bottom so I can do my second shape. I'll do this one down here. So repeating the same process of clicking and dragging and just outlining my shape. Working on making those lines as straight and as accurate as possible. So I'm going right over the top of my pencil lines. And once that is done, I'm going to do the same thing over here where it's highlighted. Hit Control, click on all of my shapes, and then click Layer 2. And then I'm going to right click, hit Merge Layers, so that I have my second shape. And I'm going to repeat this process with these two up here. So New Layer, Once I have all 4 of mine done, you can see they're all 4 in separate layers. And if I click this little eyeball here on my background layer, you can see that.
Mr. Thurman, if you could please call 4046. Mr. Thurman, if you could please call 4046.
Whoops. You can see all 4 of my shapes here if I take the background, if I click it on and off. So you should see that all of your shapes are complete. Once you are done with this, this was our exercise in class. So once you are finished, you're going to hit File, Export as JPEG, and then you will save it to your computer and you can open this up, and this is what I would like you to email to me. So then you are good to go for this week's assignment.